Hello everyone, my name is Pratiksha and welcome back to my channel. So today is day 5 of our Linux Free Bootcamp and I want to say that please subscribe my channel and support to our Linux Free Bootcamp. So in today's session we are going to cover the permissions. So what are the permissions, why we need them and how to manage that permissions. So let's see. Firstly, we'll see the types of the permissions. So Linux files and directories have the three types of the permissions, that is read, write and execute. Let me write here types of permissions. Read, you can also call as R, write, W and execute known as X. So each file and directory has these permissions and they are essential for the managing access to your files. But why we need that permissions? For example, imagine you have an important document and if you don't set the proper permissions, so anyone who has access to that file, they can read, they can modify or even delete it. So this is risky because it's not secure. So by setting the permissions, you can control who can modify or who can delete your file. So that's why the permissions are very important as point of the security purpose. So let's understand the permissions. So there is a read permission. So read permission, it allows you to view the contents of the files and the directories, and the write permissions modify or delete the files and directories, and execute permission, it runs the file or access that directory. So it's important to assign the right permission based on what you want others to do with your files. For example, you might want to use someone read access to the document but not allow them to modify it. So there is a chmod command. So using the chmod command, you can change the permission of the files and the directories, and there are two ways to use the method. That is, first is the alphabetical method and second is the numerical method. First, let's see the alphabetical method. So in this method, you specify the permissions using the letters. So there are three categories of the users. Let me write here. Categories of user. There is owner, you can also call it as U, and there is a group. For that group, you can denote as a G, and for the others, you can write as O. So these are three categories of the users. So for example, you want to give the read, write and execute permission to the owner, group and the others. So you have to use the chmod command. So how to use that chmod command, we will see practically. Okay. Open the virtual machine. So firstly, create a file. For example, I am creating touch and then create a file name, that is cloud. Okay. And then see the permission of the cloud. Okay. Using the ls-l, you can check the permission of the file and give the file name and enter. So you can see here is a three fields. So first field is for the owner, second field for the group and third field for the others. And this dash indicates the we have created the file. And when you create the directory, you can instead of dash you can see here the D. Okay. Let me show you. Okay. Make a directory and create php folder. Okay, and see, and if you want to check the permission of the directory, you have to use ls-eld and give the directory name php and enter. And you can see here we have created directory, that's why here is a D. So first 3 fields for the owner, and second field for the group, and third field for the others. So let me write here. So firstly, to check permission, ls-l command for the file, and for the directory there is a ls-ld. So using that you can check the permission. And there is a 3 fields. Okay, first field read write execute, second read write execute, and third read write execute. So first is for the owner. So for the owner you can write the U, and for the group there is a G, and for the others there is O. Now we have to give the permission to the owner, group, and the others, that is read write execute and read write execute. So let's see, on the virtual machine we have created the touch file, and you can see here is the owner have the read and write permission, and the group has the only read permission, and the others have the only read permission. Now we have to give the full permission to the cloud file, that is read write execute. Okay, so for that we have to use the chmod command. So chmod, and then give the, for the owner use the yo, and plus what permission you want to give, that is read write execute. Then give the file name, that is cloud, and enter. And for the group there is a G plus read write execute, and then give the file name, enter. And then give the permission to the others, that is chmod o, read write execute, and then give the file name and enter. And using the ls-l you can see the permission and enter. So you can see here we have assigned the permission to the cloud file, that is read write execute. So we have the full permission assigned. Okay, so now if you want to give the only read permission to the user, and give the permission to the group, that is only the write permission, and for the others now you want to give the permission to the execute. So for that, let's see, now we will give the permission to the that php folder. So chmod, and now you want to give the permission to the owner, that is only read. Okay, then u plus read, and then give the folder name, then enter. And for the group you want to give the permission only the write, then write the w and give the folder name. And now you want to give the permission to the others, that is o plus execute, and then give the folder name and enter. And using the ls-ld check the permission of the php folder. So now you can see here we have given the only read permission to the owner, but why here have the read write execute permission? And also for the group we have only give the write permission, so why it have read write execute? And for the others we have given the execute permission. So you can see here in the php folder, so yeah, because php folder already have the read write execute permission, and for the others it have for the group it have the read and execute permission, and for the others it also have the redirect. So it have already assigned that permission, so we can't change it. But we want to give the only read, write, and execute permission like that. So for that we have to remove that permission. For example, now we have given the read permission to the owner, but it already have the read, write, execute permission. So if we want to give the only read permission, so we have to remove the write and execute permission. So for that you have to use chmod u minus. So to assign the permission we use the plus sign, and to remove the permission we have to use the minus sign. And now minus the w and x, and then u the PHP folder name. Now for the same chmod g and minus read and execute, and then give the PHP folder, and then next chmod, and then for the others if you want to execute then remove the read and write permission, then give the folder name. Now check using ls-ld PHP folder. See, now you can see here we have the remove permissions of the PHP folder. So we have assigned the read permission to the owner and write permission to the group and execute permission for the other. So like that we can change the permission, we can assign the permission, and also if you want to remove that permission we can also do that using the chmod command. So as this app project was manually specifying the permission for each category, so it can get quite complicated when managing many files or the users with the different needs. So let's see the numerical way to handle this in simple way. Okay, so here next we will see the numerical method. So this method is very simple and it uses the numbers to represent the permission. So let me write here. So for the numerical way, they uses the numbers. So for the read there is a 4 number, for the write there is a 2 number, and for the execute there is a 1. And you can add these values together to specify the permission. For example, if you want to give the read write permission, you add 4 plus 2, that is 6. And if you want to give the full permission, that is 4, 2 plus 1, that is 7. For example, you can see here, if you want to give the full permission in the numerical way, right here, read write execute 7, and for the owner 7, and for the group there is also 7, and for the others there is also 7. So like that. For example, we want to give the permission to the owner, that is read execute, and for the group only the write permission, and for the other only the execute permission. Then here add the values of the read and execute, that is 4 plus 1, that is 5, and for the write there is a 2, and for the execute there is a 1. So like that you can give the permission. So let's see the practically. So let's create another file, that is firstly clear it and touch Django. Okay, we have created the Django file. Now give the permission using the numerical way. So now for example, if you want to give the permission, full permission to the Django, then for that use the 777 for the first 7 for the owner, second 7 for the group, and third 7 for the others, and give the file name Django. So you can see here I'm using the ls-l, check the permission. So we have assigned the full permission to the Django file. Let's see another example. Create the folder, that is mkdir, and for example we are creating op folder and enter it, and using the chmod command. Now what permission you want to give to the cop file. Firstly we will check what permission the cop directory already have. So you can see here read write execute and read write execute read. So owner have the full permission and group have the read write execute permission, and others have the read write execute permission. So now if we want to give the write permission to the owner, group and others, then for that use the chmod, and then for 777 and then give the cop. So you can see using the ls -ld, that is cop permission. So we give the full permission to the cop folder. So like that you can use the numerical way or you can use the alphabetical method, but numerical way is simpler than the alphabetical method. You just remember the values of that permission, like read for the 4, write for the 2 and execute for the 1. So this method is easier, so I personally prefer it, but it's good to know both the methods. So I hope you understood this topic. So now let's see the chown and chgroup commands. Let me write here chgroup and chown commands. Okay, so what are these commands? So using the chown command you can change the ownership of the file and the directories, and using the chgroup command you can change the group permission of the associate with file and the directory. So for example, you can see here the cop directory have the ownership of the root and also the group ownership of the root. If you want to change this ownership and group, so for that you can use the chown and chgroup. So let's see the practical. So let's we can check we have any user. Okay, we have the Nikita user. So now I want to grant the permission, grant the ownership to the Nikita on that cop folder. Okay, so for that use the chown and you give the owner name, that is Nikita, and then give the file name, that is directory name cop, and enter. And using ls-ld cop, you can see here we have assigned the ownership to the Nikita on the cop directory, and also like that you can assign the group permission using the chgrp command to the cop directory. So now we want to give the group ownership to the Nikita user, then give the Nikita and then give the directory name, that is cop, and enter. Sorry, I have entered the wrong Nikita. Okay, and let's see using the ls-ld name cop. Now you can see here using the chgroup command we have assigned the group owner permission to the Nikita user, and using the chown command we have assigned the ownership permission to the Nikita user on the cop directory. So using that command you can change the ownership and the group ownership of the files and the directories. So in interviews might have the question how to give the ownership to the particular directory or the particular file, or how you can check the, or how you can change the group ownership of that file. So you must have prepared for this. So I hope you understood this. So now let's talk about the Umask. Let me write here the Umask. So what is a Umask? Actually the Umask value determines the default permission for the newly created files and the directories, and by default Umask value is 0 to 2. So for the files the default permission is, okay, let me open another file. Okay, you can see here the default permission for the files. Okay, is 66, and the default permission for the directories there is a 777. So when you apply the Umask value to the files and directories, for example, for the files, the default permission is 666, and when you apply the Umask value that you have to manage, that is 022, and then equal to, that is 644, and for the directories the default permission value is 777, and minus it the Umask value, and then equal to, that is 755. So these are the default permission set for the new files and the directory. So we have set this default permission for the new files and the directories. So also in the interview they might have the question, what is a Umask and what is the default permission of the files and the directories, and how when you apply the Umask value to that file and directory, what will be that permission. So you must have to prepare this permission and this topic. So I hope this is crystal clear, and I hope you all understood this topic. So as you know, I have created the Linux Free Bootcamp repository on the GitHub, where I am uploading the content of every session that we cover in our bootcamp. So for today's session, I have created the detailed documentation about the permissions, where I have uploaded every content that we have covered today. So you can find my GitHub account link in the description, and you can see here. I hope you are able to see this documentation. So I have made it available for your reference, and I believe it will be really helpful for you, and especially when you are preparing for the interviews. So you can see here, so what we have covered today, that is type the permissions, that is chmod command. We see the alphabetical method, numerical method, and I have added some examples also here, and also the chown, chgrp command, and lastly we have covered the Umask, and also I have added some example for the every topic. So I will upload this document on our GitHub repository, that is Linux Free Bootcamp, on the Day-5 folder. So you can find the GitHub link in the description, so must go through it, and if you like it, and if you want to download this repository, you can fork and star my repository. So that's it for today. So now you know how to manage the permissions, change ownership, and understanding the default permissions for the new files and the directories. So be sure to practice these commands, as they are essential for keeping your system secure. So and if you found this video helpful, so don't forget to like and subscribe my channel, and to stay updated with our future lessons. So see you in the next session. Thank you. Have a great day.